we're having fun just talking about stuff today, and I think that it's really nice. Who likes cooking? Who likes sewing? Who likes quilting? I remember one of my girlfriends, she is a quilter, and that's how I got hooked on quilting. And she does beautiful things, and we go to the quilting shows here in Melbourne when they're on. Oh my goodness, some of the stuff that's done. It's like...
It's art.
It's artwork on a fabric, and sometimes, the last one I went to was last year, and some of the designs were almost lifelike, the eyes, the faces, that they'd done hours and hours and hours.
It's amazing.
Of work.
Art. It's not something I could do. You see, I learned how to knit when I was little by one of our babysitters, and the only thing I could knit was a scarf, and that's because it just keeps going and going and going.
Why? What do you want to do with it? Choke yourself?
No, but it'd be nice to be able to make a top or, something else, but I couldn't make anything else because I can only, keep going straight. I don't know how to do anything else except keep going straight.
You don't know how to read a pattern? I used to knit a lot when my kids were young. I used to knit jumpers and cardies and do all that.
No.
And I used to make all my clothes. Loved making my clothes.
Yeah, no, we were actually we have a holiday, a dress up holiday that we have once a year, and my mum always made our dress up clothes for us.
Fun.
So I remember going as a roller skating queen, just all these different things she would make. My mum's quite creative, and she can draw really.
She's quite creative, or she is creative.
She is creative.
Yes.
She's creative. And she can draw really well, and she can do all these things really well. And I miss that, Jane. I can draw stick figures. That's what I can draw. So even when my nephew was little and my mum would draw things, she can draw really quite beautifully. And paint. She's got a painting she brought from Europe that she did. And it's a landscape, and the way she uses light on that landscape is just magical. It's really, really beautiful. So she can do that really well. Me, not so well.
Well,
I may have taken her cooking gene or a dessert gene because she's really great with desserts as well. But otherwise, yeah, no.
Well, I didn't grow up cooking or anything like that. I climbed trees and rode on billy carts and skateboards and rode push bikes and things like that. Push bikes, no hands. I often think about it when I'm riding my bike, and I'm thinking, oh, I wonder if I could ride no hands. I'd probably ride no hands and go splat on the ground, so I don't try it.
My mum used to follow me when I would ride my bike. She always knew I'd take my helmet off, so I'd go helmet on, everything on, and I'd go for a ride, and suddenly my mum would appear somewhere, and she would not be happy at all.
Why would you take your helmet off?
Because it was annoying me. But I know it's so important. It's really important. Now I know all of this. But it was annoying me. So I'd always take it off, and she would appear somewhere.
Because she knew.
She knew.
She knew. When I see someone riding a bike without a helmet, I say, "Where's your helmet?" To myself, I say it, because I think it's so dangerous.
In India, you see they're on a motorbike, but not one person on a motorbike. It's an entire family on a motorbike, and it's
no
like they're not wearing helmets. But I'm also wondering how they got everyone on there. Like literally, you've got a husband and wife, and you've got a bunch of kids on the one motorbike, and it's an art just getting them on there. I
practice.
think. It's very much so.
It's called practice.
But yeah, and most of the time they're not wearing helmets either.
Well, yeah, and the way they drive. It's danger zone. I mean, they drive in amongst all the traffic and they just go across.
It is
and they
very dangerous. We had, sorry, go on.
Take your life into your own hands.
100%. We had a driver who was, oh my God, he was an amazing driver. Like the amount of accidents he could have gotten into nearly but got us out of. He was just absolutely incredible. When I came back home, the friend of mine who I went to see in India, I remember we were in our lounge room, and I said to him, shh, just listen. And it's at night, and he's listening. And I went, you can't hear a thing, because all you can hear in India is beep, 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 beep. It's really quite funny. And it was like dead silence.
It's nice, isn't it? Dead silence, But yeah, look, life's exciting. There are so many things that we can do. Go exploring, go bushwalking, go this. And that's why I like watching Postcard, because they go to all these different places and you see these different things.
But we need to do it more in our own backyard.
That's
because
right.
We have the most incredible places that we don't see as often as we should.
Well, that's what Postcard is. It's kind of local. It's just spreading out the suburbs.
Melbourne, Victoria.
Yeah. And where were they? Can't remember. They were at Melton. And there was some historic stuff that they saw there. And,
okay.
Yeah. And there's this hat shop out that way that I want to go to. One of my friends lives out there. And I said, we've got to go to this hat shop. She said, Faye, you'd love this hat shop, because I love hats. And she said, you'd love this hat shop. And I'm thinking, we'll get there. We'll get there one day.
We used to go to Torquay a lot.
All right, okay.
Beautiful, beautiful scenery. Even the drive there up the Ocean Road is really, really beautiful.
Amazing.
And I think that I have a friend of mine who lives in Belgium, and she tells me off, because for me, going to the beach, it's a 5-10 minute drive up the road. For her, it's a 2.5 hour drive. And she's angry at me for not using the beach enough. Like, I haven't been there for quite a while.
Well, I was there this morning.
Yeah, you're a good girl. I see your videos. You're a very good girl.
But of late, I haven't put anything up. And this morning, because it's really dark, and I can't do Facebook Lives when it's really dark. I did one the other week, and it was so dark that I couldn't even see me.
Can't you put it so the light goes on your phone and you turn it around to be on you?
I don't know about that. I don't think I really want the spotlight on me.
Well, that's a different story. That's a totally different story.
I don't think I want the spotlight on me. But this morning,
you can bring a torch and put the torch there and the phone there. But if you don't want, that's a different story.
Yeah, there's a place I walk to, and there's a palm tree, and I take that photo of that palm tree every day when I'm walking. And this morning, and sometimes when I listen to the water and I think, I'll take 30 seconds of that, or I'll take a minute of the sounds of the water.
Yes.
And eventually I'm going to create some meditation with all the water sounds that I have, because I've got lots and lots of them.
And that'll bring back beautiful memories as well.
And sometimes it's so still. I mean, this morning it was still, but the water was making a bit of a ripple noise coming in onto the beach, but it was just beautiful. Nice. It was cold.
When I went to a New Year's Eve party years ago, and there was all these, you could see this, I love city lights, I love Melbourne lights. So you'd see the city lights and the fireworks and everything, and I took all these amazing photos. And for some reason in my head, I thought, I'm going to be using these for something. And then when I did my show, I use it as the background in the images because it's business dining with Deb. So it was at night time, so I had that at the back and utilised it. And it's funny when you take a photo. The same time that we said we were going to do a barista course downstairs? Do you remember the Christmas tree that was there in the building? It was this beautiful, huge Christmas tree downstairs.
Where were we?
I can't remember. It was a hotel in the city.
Yeah.
And so upstairs we
Rendezvous?
I don't remember. Might have been. We had upstairs. We had the function, and downstairs there was this beautiful Christmas tree. Yep. And for some reason, I thought I'm going to use this. So I took a photo to be able to use it to wish people a Merry Christmas on. And so to this day, I still use that photo. I remember one of my friends shared it, and I said, I took that photo. She goes, what? I said, yeah, I took that photo years ago because I wanted to. It was so beautiful, and they did it so well. And there was no one downstairs at the time when I went downstairs.
Perfect.
And I thought, perfect timing. And just reminded me that people are putting, when we were all in lockdown, some of the most amazing photos were taken of the city with no people in there that would never have no people in there usually. And people are starting to put reminders up of it's coming up in their Facebook memories of those photos. It came up for me not long ago. And I just thought, my God, these are the most gorgeous photos that you will probably never, ever see again or be able to take again.
Well, you look at Flinders Street, and you could look down Flinders Street, and there was absolutely not a soul.
Yeah.
You never see that.
No.
Quite amazing. And I remember experiencing that going into the city on the train, and getting off the train and thinking, where is everybody, you know? And
But the photography and the videos you could take at that time were exceptional.
I take photos. I've got thousands of photos that I have to do something with.
My phone's been telling me off in the last few days, so I think I need to copy
Declutter?
and paste, declutter my phone, copy and paste all the photos onto copy and delete all the photos onto my hard drive and start taking them off my phone.
I'm going to do some coffee table books with my photos.
Oh yes, I look forward to that. That'll be really cool.
Yeah, eventually when I've got time.
Oh, that'll be really cool. I like that.
When I've got time, because there's some amazing photos that I do have. And I took one in lockdown. You reminded me, I was walking across the bridge and there were all these locks on there. And I took this and I said something about lockdown, and this lady said something on the post, and she said, "Can I use this photo?" I said, "Sure." I said, "I took it. It's my photo, but sure, you can use it." It was just all these locks. And it just, these sorts of things intrigued me. I mean, you're walking along the beach and I'm looking and thinking, I wonder if there's any driftwood that I like, you know, the shape of the wood or whatever, because I'll pick it up and I'll take it home with me.
That's fair enough.
As long as it's not too big.
Everything's been, I guess, curated by nature.
Oh, and I always say, you know, the water, when it's angry, water has no bounds. There's no boundaries for water.
Yep.
It will find a way over, under, around, whatever, when it wants to go somewhere. And I think that what we need to do as humans is have, sometimes when we have that fear, be like water and try. I don't like that word. Have a go at going over, under, beside, around. Because if someone throws a spanner in the works and it makes you difficult to get where you want to go, say you've got a goal and there's a spanner in the works, I always called it a spanner in the works, and you need to get there and you're not going to give up your goal. Never give up your goals. If they're important to you, never give them up. Always find a way around it to get to that goal.
Do you know what a good tip is? The first thing is that, if something gets in your way, you might be upset, angry, cry, all sorts of things.
Always.
My tip is to do that, okay? But don't say anything, go into your own room or whatever, or your own space and, cry, scream, do whatever you need to do. And then take a step back and then really have a think about, why has this happened? What is this teaching me? What do I need to do differently? How do I need to do it differently? What do I need to do better next time? How can we fix things for next time? I think that's really important to do. And then you go back to that same thing, it could be 2 days later, but with a fresh set of eyes, because now you're dealing with it differently. Too many times, and I used to be, a person who reacted to things.
Always.
But now I tend to I tend to go silent, and then I tend to take a step back and really have a think about it, and then look at how I'm going to deal with it. So, because if we deal with things in a reactionary way, it's not going to be to our advantage. Most of the time, it's not going to be to our advantage. And
not
we really, no. And we could make things a whole lot worse too. And something that's really important too, and it comes up in a lot of things I do as well, is that, with collaborations, with all sorts of different things, is the most important thing is communicate. If you're not communicating, then that's okay. If you haven't communicated, you're not communicating, take a step back, have a look at it, and then look at it with fresh eyes again. And then you might communicate it in a totally different way than you would have a couple of days ago. But I think that's really, really important because, as I said, I used to jump and see things, and if I did the same thing now in my business as I did then, it wouldn't be good at all.
Yeah, absolutely, and I totally agree with you. I think as you get older, you learn more, you get more experience, you become more aware of how you react or respond to something, and that awareness is really important.
Do you know what every human being has, but not every human utilises?
Oh, God, it's so simple, isn't it?
No, not always.
What?
Introspection.
Oh, okay.
Every human has it, but not every human utilises it. And to actually have some time to take introspection and look at, where was that person coming from? Where are you coming from? Can you handle it differently? How can you do it? You know, we end up learning different ways of doing things. As I said, for me, I used to react a lot quicker to things. Now, I might go silent. I might take a couple of days, you know, I might look at things totally differently and say, oh, you know, I could have handled that differently. I could have done something differently. And then, you know, have a talk to the person, and you're having a talk to that person in a totally different way than you would have a couple of days beforehand.
And it's really important. I keep on saying that conversation is being lost somewhere along the line because we have screens, so many screens going on.
You can't have a conversation on text.
No,
that's
you
not
can't.
a conversation.
You can't, but that's what people do.
100%.
And I think there's the loss of real conversation, meaningful conversation, that face-to-face conversation, the real, the raw, the heartfelt conversation is being lost, and I want to bring it back because I think
you're doing this. This is huge.
Oh, well, hopefully the conversation is that we need to come together and have those conversations. And if something's worrying you, have a conversation with someone that you can trust, someone that will just sit and listen and not judge.
Don't keep leaving things. Don't keep leaving things, because things get worse, and things get worse in our heads as well.
Well, they get so big that you explode and then you make it worse. But if you tend to deal with things as they come up and have that conversation, step back. If you're having a difference of opinion with somebody, step back and say, give me 10 minutes, give me half an hour, and then I'll come and talk to you about it, so that you can go away, absorb it, breathe, and then come back with a different set of eyes, ears, and mind. And mind. Now we're going for a break.
Oh, that was quick.
And we'll be back in a moment. We'll do that first.